Hey folks, Santee from the Arizona Ghostriders here. If you're doing movies or reenactments or even living history, distressing clothes is pretty important. Remember that many people in the frontier only owned a couple of shirts and maybe a couple of pairs of pants. The working class could not afford to own an abundance of clothes, so they had to make do with what they had. Also remember, roads weren't paved back then. Horses and carriages were stirring up dust and dirt constantly. And if it just rained, all that dust and dirt turns into mud. So this week at Arizona Ghostriders, we're going to show you how we do distressing and weathering clothes. Rita, have you seen my new reenactment shirt?
I put it in the closet.
It's not in the closet.
Maybe Bill took it.
Okay, that's not how we do it. This is how we do it. This shirt I've been wearing to events for about 15 years. I've been shot to death in this shirt so many times I've lost count. All the wear is natural. The buttons fell off and were replaced with bone buttons, and the red stripes are faded in areas I wasn't wearing a vest. There's a patch on the lower back covering a tear from being tossed around by Arizona red, and some smaller holes in the elbows. Let's use this as a guide for distressing this red undershirt. Start with getting a sharp hook or a nail and just go to town on some of the areas that would have the most wear, like the neckline, the buttons, the sleeves, and the hem of the shirt. Depending on the character or how badly you need to get your aggressions out, start randomly ripping areas that might get caught on thorns and cactus needles and barbed wire and T-Rex teeth, that kind of thing. Next, grab some sandpaper and start going over those same areas. Coarse or fine, it depends on how distressed you want it to look. You probably don't want to distress it too much, otherwise you'll start looking like a character from The Walking Dead. That to me is a good amount of distressing for a cowboy, miner, or other laborer. Now, to the coffee tank. Brew up a strong pot of coffee or tea, pour it over the shirt, give it a stir, and let it sit there for about an hour. Drying it in the sun for a few days up to a week will definitely fade some of the color. I've started carrying a container of Fuller's Earth with me to events. It's a clay-like substance that's used in skin cleansing masks and some makeups. Dump a few tablespoons in an old sock and use it as a pounce bag for a quick dirtying up. In a couple of movies I worked on, the costumers used a pigment product called Schmear Stick. That is a deodorant type of container, and it wipes on a targeted area for soiling. Both Schmear Stick and Fuller's Earth wash out incidentally, so not permanent. Hey folks, I hope you learned a little something about distressing clothing for your own Old West persona. It's important to remember... Sorry, dogs. It's important to remember that not every character in the... Well, Rex, put it down. Drop it. It's important to remember that not every character in the Old West was dirty or disheveled, so just dress accordingly. So that's it for another episode. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on down the trail.